Hey guys, Jen with Astro T. So today we are talking about the new moon in Aries, and that is on March 29th. And that is not only going to be a super moon, meaning that it is closest to the Earth, only 222,881 miles away. So right outside your door, just a hop, skip, and a jump away. But it is also a partial solar eclipse. And it is also the last new moon of 6 at the 9th degree of their signs. So we're filming this today, talking about a little bit of completions going on and starting fresh. Today is spring, the first day of spring. Happy spring, everyone. Happy Ostara, and it's the vernal equinox. So it's all about things being reborn and refreshed. So we thought we'd get you outside. We're gonna start trying to get outside as much as possible. It's a little bit chilly today, but you know what? We're gonna tough it out. So this even has a partial eclipse, will likely be very powerful, and really will have our emotions kind of on overdrive. So be ready for that. Don't be surprised as to any all having very much to do with endings and finding closure. So you could, because it is an Aries, with the emotions, you could get a little angry, snappy, that. So just kind of know that going into it. How many times have you heard people with past relationships that they say they never had closure, so they can't, start a new relationship without having closure on the last one? Well, that is a lot of what the energy of this will be like. So it's closing one door so you can open a new one, kind of going through like one of those chambers where you have to close one so that nothing can pass into the new one. So that's kind of what all this is all about. It's just getting rid of everything from the past and starting fresh. So as opposed to our lunar eclipse, that was a south node conjunct eclipse. That's that releasing energy. So that was more of the releasing. So now this one, being that everything is in Aries, sun, moon, and the north node, this is a north node conjunction. So it's where you need to go, the focus that you need to do for the future that you want to have. So this really can hit almost like a firecracker, kind of like a jolt, because there's so much Aries energy going on. So not only do we have an eclipse on the 9th degree, on the 29th, we have Neptune on the 29th degree of Pisces, getting ready to go into Aries pretty much the next day. So Neptune is ready to start its new journey around the zodiac on the 30th as it moves into Aries on the following day, so one day later. So the number 9 figures prominently with this eclipse. You can see it kind of, pointing out everywhere. In numerology, 9 is mental and spiritual realizations. So like I said, it could be hitting you kind of like that lightning bolt, like it's all of a sudden going to be like, oh, like that. So it's a higher octave though. So you really have to go with what your intuition is telling you. It's giving us wisdom and it's giving us guidance for a spiritual and even a physical transformation. 9 is the completion of a cycle and closing again one door to open another. So you want to finish something before you start something new. Instead of just piling up a whole bunch of stuff, you want to finish what wasn't working, kind of put that to the past, and then move forward with what is working, or maybe even with something new. So it's pretty much going to be a new moon on steroids, really just a new adventure, a new phase of life, kind of starting a whole new chapter. So we finished, that chapter, now we're starting a whole new one. And here's paragraph number 1. We can find closure. If we can find that closure, we are going to be that much wiser, and we maybe will be a bit sore from what we learned, recovering from heartache, perhaps, pain, health issues that we might have had and we might have had to deal with, and even failures. And, we can still close the door on those past failures and kind of put them to the past instead of just thinking about them over and over again. And what did I do wrong? And what did I do wrong? Like it's that Pisces energy that everything is getting away from. So Pisces is becoming that kind of a ghost, the kind of that apparition from the past that you just need to exercise out of you. So just, banish it. So good banishing, and a little bit of like cleansing will really help if you're into any of that kind of thing, to just kind of get rid of all that negative energy. And you know what? Past failures happen. Everyone fails at something, and it happens. It's not a big deal. Now we have to move forward to what we didn't fail. So what did we achieve? And that's what we have to hold on to and let go of the other crap, because we don't need it. This new moon, again, is the first paragraph of the next chapter, like I said. So coming just days after the sun's ingress into Aries, which is today, welcoming spring, again, renewal, regrowth, new life. So in that, today, smack dab in the middle of the 2 eclipses. So everything is just a lot of energy happening right now. So you might feel like you're overwhelmed. You might feel like you have a lot going on, like things aren't getting finished up. That's kind of why, because there's a lot of energy stirring around. You need to kind of cleanse the air around you to kind of calm it a little bit. So sweep out, again, the negative. We know what worked. We know what didn't. So what to take with us and what to leave behind. So sweep away, leave behind what you don't need anymore. And if, really believe it when you're doing it, just physically take a broom and sweep things out the window, sweep things out the door, to really just believe it and cement in yourself, this is what I'm doing. And even you can say it out loud to yourself as you're doing it. For instance, if we kept trying, this is time to start planting. So, okay, last year we tried to plant peppers, and, they never grew, they never rooted, they just were kind of, but our tomatoes, they blew up and they were great. So, maybe we're going to let those pepper growing dreams kind of fade away, and we're going to really plant all different kinds of tomatoes and really just go with that. Maybe we'll try something new and plant some squash. So we'll see how that will go. So that's what I mean about kind of, it doesn't have to be anything huge. It can be something as simple as that. Okay, what wasn't working, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to move forward with what was working and maybe add a little bit to it. Uranus will be a sextile. It's going to be in the center sextile to Saturn, that's in Pisces, and Mars, that is in Cancer. So two signs that are water-based. So if this doesn't kind of math out this energy of this new moon to a T, because we have Uranus is that change, sextile with Saturn, like you just can't ignore it. It's no more turning a blind eye. It's like, again, dropping that curtain down like I've talked about. Everything's going to be exposed. Things are going to change. The curtains are beginning to fall, exposing what was once hidden, and you're going to have some realizations coming up in your own life, and I think on a global scale as well. We're going to see a lot of things, a lot of changes coming. Uranus changes come with maturity and experience. Saturn. So that's, again, using what has worked. Saturn, what we've worked for, and moving us forward with instinct and impulse. And that is Mars in Cancer. So that is pretty much just so much of that energy. So that's why I think this one's going to be like super intense, because it's, when you look at astrology, you're wanting to look for like kind of 3 cues instead of just like one thing. You're like 3 cues kind of really put it over the top that it's going to be kind of intense. So Uranus is also sextile to that Neptune, which is about to change signs the following day after this solar eclipse, and Venus, which they're now conjunct. So Venus and Neptune, which are currently in Pisces. So who are, they're creating a stellium in Pisces with Saturn. So lots of Piscean energy. So that's what I mean about that curtain. So as they start moving out of Pisces, the curtain's going to get dropped and things are going to, kind of make a little more sense. Things are going to clear up. Pisces is kind of that ruler of the 12th house, which are Again, things that we, okay, it came to fruition, but we're leaving it in the past, almost like a past life. So we're leaving that behind with that Piscean energy, or it could represent those hidden things. Again, 12th house is hidden things, and things that, maybe were hidden from us that are now going to start becoming exposed as we move into that first house, Aries, that initiative, starting over again. So with this stellium, even if you don't know what you're getting into, it's in your best interest. If you feel whatever, if it makes you feel good, just jump in, go for it, jump in, both feet. Even if you don't know how cold or deep the water is, just do it. If that's what makes you feel good, if that's where this energy is pulling you, then do it. So Uranus and Taurus will surprisingly ground you. And Uranus can sometimes be that, kind of live wire, but in Taurus, it seems like it's a little more grounding. It seems like the Uranian aspects have been a little bit easier this year, and it just seems a lot easier than when Uranus was in the Aries, because Aries is that kind of that impulsive sign, where this is a little more of that fixed. So of course, this isn't going to be all wine and roses. Things are hard. Change is hard, and taking the initiative to make that change and move forward with conviction can be hard and can be very scary. But we have still 2 personal planets retrograde. So I think that we can actually use these to our advantage. Venus is currently in Pisces again, and Mercury is set to go in later in the day of the solar eclipse. So there is going to be some stagnancy, some rethinking before we act. It's like you act, then you wait, and then you regroup, and then you go back at it. So that's kind of like what you should do. And that's what's helpful about Saturn being really involved in it, even though it's not making any main aspects to this solar eclipse. It's still there in its presence, making so much aspects with everybody else in the stellium, sextile to Uranus. So it's really going to be helpful to do things in a mature way. Always going about things when you have knowledge about them, have wisdom, read books, read about what you're trying to learn, YouTube videos if you want to, see someone that's done it before. One fun thing that we've actually found out just in the town and the adjacent town, these 2 really old businesses. One is an herbal business, which I thought was just an old sign that's been up for decades, ever since I remember as a little girl. And actually they both were. One's an herbal business, and then one is a crystals and gemstones. And so if you're shelling out money on getting this kind of stuff or trying to grow it and you just can't, I found these 2 little businesses right close to home. Never even thought they were still open, and they have these old women that are so knowledgeable, and that is that Saturn just kind of, I think, coming into my life and just giving me some guidance as well, things that I might have been questioning, might have been confused about, and it's really helpful. So look to your elders, look to just people that are in the know and have really been working with this for a long time. And then once they start going direct, which will be in early April, Mercury's on the 7th, and then Venus on the 12th. So by mid-April, we're going to have them going back direct. So that'll be nice. And as the moon is set to begin its waxing phase, Aries starts getting filled up. With that Pisces stellium is all going to move in there now. So like I said, Neptune is on the first one to go in, which is on the 30th. It's going to be temporary because it's going to move back into Pisces in October. You know how those outer planets are. Mercury by mid-April and Venus by the close of April on the 30th will all be in Aries. Right at the end, we have the lunar cycle on the 30th with the new moon in Taurus. So I look at that so all of these changes, things that we're going to be doing, ideas that we're going to have, they're going to become a little more concrete with that new moon in Taurus, with that fixed energy moving in. So we have the cardinal energy starting out now, and then as we move into Taurus, with that Taurus new moon, now we're going to start out, okay, I got this. This is how I'm going to work it, and this is what we're going to do. So it's really, again, finding that closure, getting rid of what didn't work, moving forward, and then, you know, hopefully by the end of April, you're going to have something really concrete to stand on and get moving. So Neptune moving into Aries encourages us to make those dreams a reality. And I know I've been harping on this video after video after video, but this is the year for it, you guys. Sorry, my cat is trying to get outside with me. So it's trying to make our dreams a reality, come out from the fog. So if there's something that you've just been wanting to do and it just doesn't seem possible and you just can't figure it out, stop it. And you want to do it. I don't know if you guys can hear that. He's just scratching away at the door. He's driving me crazy. So again, that Taurian new moon will help make any energies more permanent, any changes permanent. So put the work in, talk to people, do all the learning that you can, and, you know, whatever it is that you're working on. Aries can be a little adolescent. That's what you want to watch out for. It's adolescent and impulsive. The aspects around it are mostly positive, I think. You know, a lot of people were really scared this year and what was going to happen, and it's hard. And I see that a lot of people are having difficulties with, here in the United States, with what's going on in government, you know, with the tariffs and with the just shutting down different parts. It's really scary again. But if you look at it in an astrology type way, and we're getting rid of the excess, getting rid of what you don't need anymore. And I think that is kind of like what this is all about and what is actually happening. And the things that have been waste are getting exposed now. And I think that's going to really be the catalyst of this entire year on a national scale, even a global scale. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. But if you think about it and you put it into that perspective, I know it's scary, but it makes a lot of sense. So Saturn, remember, is going to be there to help. Come May 24th, that's when it moves into Aries, and it provides that stability. It provides that patience and that wisdom and that, like, okay, before you go crazy and go setting Teslas on fire and burning people's businesses down, just wait, regroup again, just stop, wait, regroup, and then go and act. Get the information, gather it before you just start doing rash things. It's just going to put you in jail. Anyway, just seeing people doing these things is just crazy. You know, these are people's livelihoods that they're working for. And yeah, you know, okay, we don't like maybe the person that is, you know, dealing with these cars or that makes these cars, but you have to think that the people that are running these dealerships have nothing to do with it. And you know, he thinks he's doing what's good, cutting waste, cutting out what's not good and leaving it behind, just like what all this energy is all about, you know, finding closure on things that aren't working in order to move forward. Destroying people's livelihoods and hurting them is not going to do anything because they don't have anything to do with it. They're just trying to run a business and make some money and just, you know, go along in the world just the same way that we all are. So you got to think about that before you start doing rash things like that. Now, June has us within minutes of Saturn and Neptune conjunction. So it's not going to happen because retrogrades and that. And that's going to be at the 1st degree of Aries. So that's a big one. It's still very close. So we're going to talk about that in the next video when we talk about the Neptune ingress into Aries. So you want to stay tuned for that. We're going to go and do a deep dive into the history of Neptune and Aries and a lot of interesting things with what happened in the past. I'm finding are kind of almost spelling out right now. So I think that's going to be really interesting. Make sure you hit that notification bell and subscribe. I'm going to have the thing around here somewhere at the end, so stay tuned to the end. hit that subscribe button and get notified, and definitely leave comments and hit the like if you like this so far. Because the Earth, Moon, and the Sun are not, again, we still have a lot to deal with. So, because the Earth, Moon, and Sun are not perfectly lined up, because it is a partial solar eclipse, we are going to feel a little bit off. So now this is going back again to our personal. So personally, that's what might be setting us off. That's what might be setting our emotions off, because they're off, we're going to feel off. We're going to feel a little bit unaligned. So maybe doing some meditation, aligning your chakras, because there's going to feel like there's a disconnect, maybe mind body, you're going to have that disconnect. So getting that back is going to be key to really get you through this emotionally, on an emotional level. So you don't fly off the handle at, the first person that, cuts you off in the car or something like that. But also, it's not surprising because Neptune about to change from its comfort zone in Pisces, it's the modern ruler of Pisces, going into that intense energy of Aries, where it doesn't feel so warm and fuzzy. Because if you think of Neptune is that fuzzy, it's that warm, it's kind of like a cloud. And Aries, just again, it's just that, breaking down, seeing through the clouds. So it's leaving that comfort of home, sitting on the couch, watching Netflix or whatever you like to do in your jammies, and then getting a call from a friend and going out to the club, and, so having to get all decked out and just, go out dancing and whatnot. Kind of is going to be like that. So, all right. So this is going to go, and it's going to be a big difference, because these are two completely different energies going on that we have. That mutable kind of, flowy, nice Pisces, and then that intense, Aries energy. But we want to embrace the thrill of it all, because it's going to be, and let yourself experience it as you're going. Like, let yourself just get excited. Let yourself be scared. Let yourself feel that thrill that you get. Like, pretend the world is your, roller coaster ride, and this is what you're doing. That is the, the, what do you call that? The, it's extreme sport that you're doing is actual life, because you're just trying it. I'm just going to quit my job and do this. And you know what? Go for it. Whatever. Well, if you lose a ton of money, don't blame me for it. Go for it. If you have a good plan, use that Saturn, don't forget. So embrace the thrill. Again, you want to embrace it. Neptune is going to be in Aries until 2039. So we have a little while of this energy here. So what is vision is going to be reality. So get off the lazy river and get on that roller coaster. Let's go. Because anything you can imagine can become reality with these energies. And I think that this is going to happen all over. We're going to see innovations and new things coming out that we never dreamed could actually happen. If you think you've already seen a lot, like I've seen in my lifetime, internet, cell phones, self-driving cars, like so much craziness has happened, like streaming shows instead of just having 3 channels like when I was young. Just wait. I think it's going to be a lot more intense over these next, ride it out 15, 20 years. Hopefully we'll all get to see it. This is real, out of this world dreams coming reality. I mean, they're looking to go to Mars. Like, maybe we're going to be living on Mars someday. Who knows? So if you feel like you need closure, again, from past relationships, that's a big one. Perhaps, like I said, we could use these retrogrades to our advantage. We have Venus and Mercury going retrograde. So that's communications and love. So maybe reach out to someone from the past. If you must, I always don't encourage it, but with these energies, it might be okay to get that closure, not to get back together, but to get that closure in order to move forward. So, and that is in whatever is haunting you. So say you got fired and you just want to find out why and you never knew, or say you left a business and you have something that you want to tell, or something that you need to express to your old business before, or say it's a friend, or who knows what, something, you know, some part of your life. You want to check out your chart, see where this falls in your life, and kind of, you know, that's where you want that closure to be. What area, what house you're in, you know, maybe it's an inheritance that you haven't found out about yet. Maybe, you know, you're about to find out. So it's that putting closure on, okay, I had this loved one that I lost, but now we're going to go forward with what we learned from it. So again, depends on where it falls in your life. So again, hit that like button if you like this video. I'd really appreciate it. Really helps boost the channel. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you know, get notified. Leave a comment also. Really, again, helps boost the channel. And you know, hey, let's let that Aries just get us going. Let's get this spring, let's get moving. Let's use this energy, this Aries energy, and just move forward. Come on, guys, let's do it together. I will see y'all soon. Bye.